Well, I hope every season isn't going to end like this. We go down to the final two games with Maidenhead. We played a final game against Dartford, who are of course scrapping for a playoff place with us. We first play Wealdstone, who are scrapping against relegation. And depending on how results go, we could yet bottle a playoff place. We've been there nearly all year, but can we be there when it matters most? Yes, hello and welcome along to part 32 of the Head Coach with me, Daniel. We are back today for our final two games of the league season. We face a side scrapping relegation, a side battling us for the playoffs, and we have no idea whether these will be our last two games of the year or not. There are 3 points separating 5th place Chelmsford and 6th place us with a far inferior goal difference, and 9th place Dartford, who we play on the final day. 3 of us are going to make it into the playoffs, 2 of us are going to miss out, but how on earth are things going to transpire? I really want to get the experience, so if you're looking forward to finding out if we can do it, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Wealdstone, our first opponents, are behind my head. They are 1 place and 1 point clear of the relegation zone. For a side starting in the National League, it would be a disaster for them to go down. It seems to be the story of both of our saves this season. Lots of tension, lots of close points finishes. So let's go and see if we can get over the line. There's no point waiting for much more. We've not had a great deal of action off the pitch. If we have a look at the transfers, there's been no history. The takeover talk has gone very quiet, and only one youngster has joined the club, a 16-year-old striker who cannot finish and has got an awful personality as well. No staffing additions, not much even on the contractual news front, albeit 3 of our stars are tied down for next year. It is starting to look remarkably similar. Lots of players that won't sign new contracts, lots of players that haven't been offered new deals, and we're down to 3 players that might be here next season. So we might be looking ahead to a summer where we want to be poached again. We've also got a little bit of injury news. Etaluku got a big one in the last game. So let me show you the schedule for what's been happening since you were last here. And the truth of the matter is, it's largely been all right. But when we've played the bigger sides, like Dartford, who will play on the final day, we've struggled. The first one was the most frustrating one. A 0-0 draw at home to Taunton Town, a relegation threatened side. Think they're still in the relegation zone. And my word, look at those stats. We have not created so much in a game all season, and we somehow failed to score. We then scored 3 away at Chelmsford. We won it in the 93rd minute. Grego Cox had put us ahead after we fell behind early doors. And then Jack Wadham, brilliant header in the 93rd minute. A 2-0 win at home to Hayes and Yedding followed, Grego Cox and Peter Prince with them. A 1-0 defeat away at Hamilton Waterlooville. A 2-0 defeat at home to Dagenham and Redbridge, who it does look like now are going to win the title, albeit Dulwich have still got a game in hand. And then going on to the last 2, back-to-back wins. 1-0 at Dover with Reece Smith. That one in contrast to Taunton, completely against the run of play. And then a 2-0 win at Cheshunt. A brilliant performance from Alfie Lloyd. Ended his goal drought with a brace. And to be fair, he's going to be crucial now because one of that front 3 is out injured. So big games to come against Wealdstone and Dartford. Etaluku will not be fit for either. But how on earth are we going to perform? It's a little bit of consistency, and you may be wondering why we've been a bit better defensively. And I have made a slight tactical tweak. It was partly with that in mind, but also to try and improve the performances of Wadham, and it's worked. I've changed what was a defensive midfielder to a pure anchor man. Just sit in front of the defence, win the ball back, do the job, and it's really worked. He's been so much better in there. We've of course got to bring in Reece Smith on the left-hand side, so it's going to be a slight change tactically as we go to an inverted winger, play with a little less width on that side of the pitch. But let's just go and get to the 2 games. There is no point us worrying about permutations. If we win one and draw one, we're in. And particularly if we drop points to Dartford, we take matters out of our own hands, and then we're reliant on luck. We're in 6th place, so we're going to go to a quarter-final at best. But let's go and get through to the fixtures. Wealdstone at home. Of the 2, this is the must win. And looking at some of the other results, Chippenham directly below us. They're going away to Dagenham, who are fighting for the title. Dartford, who are in 9th, going away to Dover. Tough mid-table team. Looking at Chelmsford directly above us. Who have they got today? 2nd place Dulwich Hamlet at home. Havant and Waterlooville in 4th. Got a tough tie against St Albans. And Oxford City in 8th. Where are they? They're at home to Slough, so potentially one of the easier games today. Let's go through the tactical meeting. Let's see the squad we can put out. And I think, bar the enforced change on the left, we've got a very settled team now. It's Josh Keeley between the sticks, Howard and Woodthorpe the fullbacks, Grant and Cocoraccio at centre-half. They're much improved by having Wadham sitting in front of them as the anchor man, with Pedder and Ewan released in midfield. And then Smith will play as an inverted winger off the left wing. We've got Grego Cox over on the right, and then Lloyd up front has ended his goal drought. 2 big goals in the last game. Can he add to that today? We've got David Oliver, who is still our second top scorer on the bench for this one too. So let's just hope it's enough. We go through to the first game. It's a must win. We're going to be positive. We're going to be front footed. And fingers crossed that will result in 3 points. Because boy do we need them. Now if I remember rightly, we played the reverse fixture of this game on camera and we won 4-3 after a late scare. Southern Hales was important, TQ Addy, the former Luton youth player, was crucial, and Mitch Walker had a stinker in goal. Well, let's hope that bit happens again. As we go through and ask the lads to pick up where they left off, we're going to go positive on the front foot at home, and Reece Smith, you will be an inverted winger on support. Hopefully this is enough to get us a result. Through the dressing room, into the first half, a pretty big crowd in today as well. They're scrapping for relegation, we're fighting for the playoffs. Which one will come out on top? Well, early doors is a free kick for Ollie Ewing, the skipper, in towards Grant. Oh, the keeper was caught in no man's land. Fortunately for him, it hit the woodwork and it's cleared out to the wide area. Reece Smith brings it back down again, but Price gets in. And unfortunately for us, Wilston can bring it away. Really positive start though. Shots, a shot on target, lots of the ball, lots of expected goals, but nothing to show for it so far. Chelmsford beating Dulwich Hamlet. That does not suit us as Rafferty Pedder thunders the woodwork again. Must have got a hand on it, the keeper, because it's a corner kick. In that case, it's a stunning stop. As Ewan puts the corner kick into the back post, Smith up, can't quite win the header. Etaluku's height really being missed back there. Wadham gives the ball away after I praised him pre-match, and Charles can clear it downfield. 20 gone, it's still 0-0. We've had the better of it, but we've seen games like this before, and then we let in a silly goal against our first chance. We've won the ball back in the middle with Wadham. Only as quickly as that does Smith give it away again. Southern Hales back to his centre-half Giles. He plays into Charles in midfield. Out to the right back again. Through ball towards Addy, who's played really well in the last couple of games against them. Grego Cox clears downfield. Long ball from Cocoraccio. It's all over the place. Back almost instantly after that one ended. And Addy picks the ball up again to Giles. Lloyd's nicked it though. He's got a chance to go through. 1-on-1. He's being caught. Why is he so slow there? Puts the shot wide. That's not like him at all. And it remains goalless. What a frustrating quarter. Well, I don't know what's happening at Chelmsford because they are battering title contenders Dulwich Hamlet, who seem to be bottling it and throwing it away. Grego Cox flies into a tackle there, but we get away with it. Pedder clears downfield to Alfie Lloyd and Smith. Lloyd in support, he's offside. He'll score this one. No problem with that finish, but it will be ruled out. And it stays 0-0. It's a frustrating day. It's another one of those dominant performances. It's starting to look like that Taunton game all over again. 3-0 Chelmsford lead and they missed a penalty. Havant and Waterlooville are losing. Dulwich have now got one back. Chippenham are losing at Dagenham. It's a real mixed bag, but can we do our job? Pedder puts the free kick in. Cocoraccio's up. Hedge just over the bar. Almost got his song going, but not today. How are we not ahead? Half time is 0-0 and Wilston are clinging on by a thread. Let's go through the dressing room. Let's say we want to see more. I just need a response. I need them to worry about being angry at me rather than being nervous about the occasion. It's not been a bad display by any means, as Dartford take the lead as well. How I'd love to have Etaluku today, although that long ball almost finds Lloyd. Charles will clear it downfield, only as far as Woodthorpe. Good ball up towards Lloyd, but again doesn't quite make the run. Mitch Walker comes to get it. He'll go for the big kick, you know that. Big switch to the left side and Price. Do not lose this game. Do not throw it away in the first big chance. Ball into Hughes. Grant wins the header. Only as far as Addy. Right side of the box. Woodthorpe slides in. Oh, you absolute bunch of buffoons. How on earth are you losing this game? 1-0 down. We've been dominant throughout. And we've somehow managed to throw it away. I'm going to demand more. I'm going to encourage. What do I do? Because this bunch of lads, how many times is this happening at home? Where we just throw away great opportunities. We've got 20 minutes left. I'm not taking Lloyd off, not in a million years. But what can I do to change the game? I'm going to put Grego Cox on the left. I'm going to take Smith off for Anderson, go 2 inverted wingers to try and get in behind. Grant struggled at the back. He'll be replaced by Peter Prince. Extra height from set pieces again. And DeRozan in the middle because Ewing really not played well today. It's been a disappointment. So let's get those on. Let's hope we can make the difference. 20 minutes to salvage something. A point would have almost been enough. A win certainly would have. But at the moment, we are just sort of whimpering to a defeat. Let's encourage the lads as it's a Wealdstone corner. Don't let in another one. Keeley saves. We're going attacking. We've got to try and get a result. Our goal difference is so inferior anyway. It doesn't matter if we lose by 2 or 3. We've got to try and get something out of this. Long ball forward. O'Brien deals with it. Jones clears long over the top. Price will chase. Howard's not going to get there, is he? Price delivers to Hughes. Prince heads away. DeRose flicks on for Grego Cox. I don't think he's ever played on the left for our team. That ball's missed by the defender though. Alfie Lloyd's in. Alfie Lloyd scores. Brilliant finish with his left foot. Grego Cox sets it up. And now we're back on terms. We're going to keep pushing. A point doesn't do that much for us. It doesn't change what we'd have to do on the final day. 3 points would do the job. Let's go and see if we can get them. I don't think we are. Stoppage time has been played. Nothing more created. Given where we were 10 minutes ago, I'm happy to take the point. Given how we've played this game and given the dominance we've had, I'm really frustrated. The 2 boys come to the rescue though. I'm disappointed we didn't win. But ultimately, we're 3 points clear with 1 game to go. Dartford are in 7th. They need a point as well. Maybe we could do a little brown envelope and agree to just play out a draw. As it is though, let's continue. Let's get to the final day. Dartford away, 6th v 7th, and the loser potentially misses out. Let's get cracking. And it's now, as we return for the final game of the season, the regular league season against Dartford, that the magnitude of our missed opportunity hits us, because the first round of the playoffs are set to be this midweek. If we had won last time out, we could have rested players for that game today. However, there's still opportunity here. We could finish as low as 9th. We could also finish as high as 4th. If we get into the top 5, we have home advantage in the first round of the playoff. If we fall out of the top 7, we're not in the playoffs at all. Let's have a quick look at the other fixtures. Chippenham, a relative home banker against Dover. We have also got Oxford City, who go away to Bath, 9th v 10th there. Bath will be looking to catch Oxford City with a 3-goal win. Then you've got Dartford against us, which is 7th v 6th. You've got Havant in 5th going away to 3rd place Hemel Hempstead, but they can't move position now. And then you've also got 4th place Chelmsford going to 17th place Folkestone, but they're now safe, so nothing to play for. It's a really interesting dynamic going into this one. This is by far the biggest game of our career so far. Yes, we've had other ones where we've needed to survive. We've needed to stay afloat with Airbus to keep our job. But in terms of a real career progression, getting into the playoffs with this side would show real statement of intent, would show that we're capable of competing at the top end as well as the bottom end of the table. We're going to stick cautious. We're going to make sure we don't lose the game. We're going to try and play on the counter. We've done it so well away from home this season. Our points difference between home and away fixtures is only 4 points, and that's unlike a side of mine. So let's go and get into it with an unchanged 11. We're going to make sure that Smith's an inverted winger again. But let's just go and get into it, because this game is huge and I can't do anything but waffle with nerves. And it's 4 changes for the host today. I'm not sure if they've got an eye on the playoffs. I'm sure they can't have, because like us, they're not secure in that place. 1 place and 1 point below us, and another Hemel hero from FM22. Samir Carruthers is on the bench for them. He must be well into his 30s now. Dean Brennan in charge has been at Barnet this season in real life. So let's just go and get into it. I don't know what to say other than I'm very nervous and I'm not that confident. So if we can get a result, fantastic. If we can have a playoff experience, brilliant. If not, we'll just live with it, because it would be a miracle and a disaster, to be honest, if we fell out from here. 5 minutes to half time. No highlights here. No shots on target here. And I don't think any goals in any of the other games affecting us. Loads of goals elsewhere. Dagenham have wrapped up the league. They're losing, I think. Wealdstone getting battered at home. Just have a quick pause here. Dulwich are winning. No, there's no goals in the games affecting the playoffs. So many 0-0s. So much tension. But at the moment, if Chippenham and if Oxford City don't win, then us and Dartford will be very happy to play out a draw. The difficulty is, if we can win this and then say Havant concede or Chelmsford concede, We'll be facing one of them at home next time out. Let's go and get through to the second half. No shots on target for either side. We've made it an ugly game, and Oxford City have got the lead. That is big. Chelmsford must be losing because they've dropped down a position there, but they must have equalised since. And this game is the worst I've ever seen, which probably isn't a bad thing for either of us. It's starting to look like the little golden envelope, but this is crucial. Dartford have dropped out the playoffs. They have now got no choice but to chase this game, and we're just going to try and play on the counter. With 20 minutes to go, what do we do? Because if we concede a goal at this point, with Oxford City as well, we will be out of the playoffs. So I'm going to be very careful. We're going to take off Smith on the left wing. He'll be replaced. I did revert him to a winger at half-time. He'll be replaced by Curtis DeRose, who I've again never played on the right wing. He's going to do it today. Inverted wing up for Grego Cox. In midfield, Wadham struggling. He'll be replaced by... Oh, I've taken out the midfielder now. I might have to play Prince in the holding role. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave it as is. There is no point us making changes at the moment. There's no point us thinking about saving legs for the playoffs if we don't even get there. Let's just see if we can hold on. I could really do with Bath equalising, to be honest, because no shots on target, but here we are with a free kick just outside our own box. Who's going to take it? It's Keeley. Is he going to be able to take his time? Yes, he is. He goes wide to Woodthorpe on the left. He's got a chance to play downfield. Grego Cox in. He's one-on-one. Goes for the shot. Oh, he's put it wide. How on earth have you missed that, son? I'm going to take Lloyd off for Anderson. Just literally fresh legs up front. Or in fact, I'm going to go David Oliver. Right back the same. Howard's knackered. On comes Sean Stevenson. Players that have played this season. Players that have delivered this season. And ones that can hopefully help us hold on. Because Oxford City, at the moment, are in the playoffs. Chippenham are now winning as well. Oh, we've done it. It's a 0-0 draw at Dartford. No shot on target for either side. And given the last half an hour they had to chase the game, that is a really good effort defensively. We stay sixth. We will now face one of the two sides above away from home. Dartford fall out of the playoffs. I think it was Oxford City who went in. But if the other guys have better goal difference, Chippenham, they'll go up instead. So let's just go and have a look at the table, round off who we're going to face, and find out when we're next going to be back. Because we have got an extension to our season. Good effort, lads. Well, a couple of bits of fun for us here. Firstly, Wealdstone down after a 4-3 home defeat on the final day of the season. That's what they get for giving us trouble last time out. We will face Havant and Waterlooville in the first round. That is on Wednesday, so we've got one extra day to recover. And of course, Dartford drop out. Chippenham made it in. The 91st minute winner put them up there on goal difference. So let's go and have a look at that table because it is pretty nuts. Chelmsford v Chippenham, us v Havant and Waterlooville. And the winners will go through to the semi-final to face Dulwich Hamlet or Hemel Hempstead Town, our FM22 club. The top two goal scorers in the league continue their season. Alfie Lloyd with 31 for us and Darcy Moffat with 43 for Chippenham Town. What on earth is he doing at this level? 43 goals in 45. Was at Luton Town. I tell you what, Director of Football, get me him and Lloyd next year. We'll win the league. What a performance it's been from him this year. And us two will be in the playoffs. It's a great opportunity for us to show how good we are. To continue to overachieve with a very decent side. And it's been worth it, hasn't it? Let's be honest, after all that disappointment at the start of the season, all of that scratching around looking for youth players to fill the team, we've now got a very good squad, one that the media thinks is sixth best in the league, and we've met our fan objective as well as our boardroom one. One very quick thing to show you as well before I go is if we go to the development centre, I promised to reflect on our youth intake. And I think you know the reason I've left it till last. Well, because it's not very good. If we go and have a look at the youth candidates, I think most of them will have left the club now. No, they haven't. So the only one that is worth any decent signing at all is David McNulty. He has already been tied down by the club. He's okay. He's a midfielder with decent ability, but doesn't really have the biggest potential. And for him to be the best of the lot, for us to get a below average intake after expecting a great one, certainly not ideal at all. The one with the biggest potential actually at the club though is Barry Fitzpatrick, who has been tied down as well. He is a centre midfielder who can play the holding role and left wing. And again, he's all right. He's balanced, he's left-footed. Very similar players, actually. But neither of them really setting the world alight. And definitely no one who can contribute at first team level. You can see the assistant or the coach barely sign most of them in. So that's where we are with the youth team. It's not going to help us in the near future. Maybe as we go through the playoffs, we can start to then think about jobs. Is there going to be one come up that maybe will be able to suit us? Maybe we'll be able to move into. Could we get a squeak up to the National League? Or could we do it here with Maidenhead? You never know. We will be back on Wednesday for Havant and Waterlooville, the big game in the National League South playoff. We played against them recently, lost 1-0 away from home. We played against them earlier in the season. We lost 4-1 at home. It's going to be a difficult test, isn't it? If you want to find out how we do and you did enjoy that very tense finish to the season, 2 draws enough in the end, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know in the comments how you think we'll get on. Will we fall at the first hurdle, which form would suggest we will? Or can we cause a shock when it comes to the big stage? Hopefully you'll come and join me and find out. If you want to see, then subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back here to find out in 2 days' time. In the meantime, though, we got a pretty thrilling end to the season coming in our Build a Nation save. Hopefully you'll enjoy that one tomorrow before we're back here in 2 days' time for the National League South playoffs. Who would have thought that when we started the season with 8 players? I'll see you there for it.